of go up against a great team, you learn more about yourself. You guys were highly competitive and led for a majority of the game, and just kind of last 3-4 minutes. Yeah. What did you see that kind of shifted?
We got to come up with rebounds when we get stops. We got to convert at a high level. Part of us is, like, when I look at this, we probably should be 4-0, but we're not ready to be 4-0. And we got to look in the mirror on that, because 4-0 means all that little stuff that I just said, it gets handled when it's winning time. And, that's on me too. Like, the players, I tell them, it's never your fault. I'm always taking the bullet. So I will stand on that and always be in the way to protect them. We just have to figure out how to close now. There's a process to what we do, and I think that we got to continue to stay consistent to what gets us to a place and not think we have to do something extra or get outside of it. Those shots are good enough. And listen, if we create them that way and we miss them, then we live with that. But the ability to make sure that we, free throw rebounds, extra like those, defense doesn't stop until you get the ball. So you really didn't play defense if they got the ball. It doesn't matter what you did. So we have to make sure that all those little things are taken care of. And if they do get taken care of, these games come to win. But, we turn around, and now we got to go tomorrow night, and we have to figure a way to compete at a really high level and be ready to walk out of there with a W.
You guys went to a zone defense for large parts of the game, something new. Can you talk about kind of the methodology behind that?
If you've watched me coach, one thing that I know just from playing in this league is, and I've seen this and experienced it as an assistant coach, watching a steady diet of something. Players are too good. Once you show them it once or twice, they figure out how to decipher it immediately, especially the high-level players. So trying to go 14, 15, zone, 22 to zone, black sometimes, like all those things are in play. And to their credit tonight, they were able to do it on the fly. Tried to wait for certain times when it's dead balls, because sometimes they like, Coach, you tripping, bro. He's like, slow down. Like, we're in transition. We can't. So I understand, but that's what I would like to do, even against high-level players, as I played against them, is, you're not going under on certain people. But sometimes I would, just to give them a different look, because when they catch it, they're like, oh, what just happened? As opposed to every time he knows that you're going to go over, or he knows that this is going to happen. They're just too good.
Last one for me. 4 different starting lineups in 4 games, and I know that the injury with Keegan is something that you have to figure out. Do you think there's going to be a lot of different lineups, or are you just kind of searching, or is it going to be based on matchups and personnel?
It's that one's hard to say, but we want to find a rhythm and a flow. It's hard. Some of the guys, they play a couple minutes, and I get it. I've been there. But the one thing that is an absolute must is we have to play with energy, effort, and enthusiasm. And that's where you're seeing guys in and out a little bit. But I thought, the guys that played really hard, and I was satisfied with the effort. The fight was definitely there. That's the world champs, and you made the world champs play like world champs to beat you. That's not that doesn't make me feel any damn better, that's for sure. But now we found the gear. Now can you take that gear and step on the gas? And you can pout about it and be like, man, or you can say, okay, here we go. And that's what I expect from our guys.
Doug, can you just talk a little bit about the decision to start Westbrook tonight, how you thought he played, and what you've seen from him in terms of like his influence with the group?
Russ is an incredible human being and just a special talent. Watching him compete, watching his aggressiveness, watching the way he speaks to his teammates, similar to what I say is, like, when it's the elephant in the room, I'm normally going to say it, and sometimes to probably my detriment. But to him, he does the same thing. He's going to speak up. He's going to say it. And these guys need to see that, because The only way for us to improve is for us to communicate and hold each other accountable. And sometimes that's a tough conversation. And if you're not willing to have that conversation, this is just the wrong locker room for you. Period. That's where it's at. We gotta have it. That's the only way that we're gonna improve. That doesn't mean that you bad or anything. It just means that we want to be good. And if we want to be good, then we got to communicate at a really high level. That's the only teams I see. That team communicates at a really high level, and they're pretty damn good. So,
and is are the different lineups? Is that part of the search, kind of for answers, or is it more of kind of the matchup based thing where you're just trying to figure out?
Guys, listen. Keegan's out, so we ain't replacing Keegan. So we got to figure something out. So that's why you see that. If he wasn't out, you wouldn't see that. So that's just, it is what it is. Young fella Neek is out. Like, I'm very high on him. I think he has a tremendous ceiling. He's 6'7". He plays multiple positions. He can handle the ball. Like, if he was available, he would be playing, which poses a whole nother problem. But that's a problem I want. So I think you're seeing that because there's injuries right now, and that's just the name of the game that we're in. This is professional basketball, and people are going to get injured and hurt, and you just have to adjust and try to find a way to win.